Welcome back to Vlogmas. I already lost track of what day it is, but we are here every day posting videos about how you can get more financial freedom. And specifically today, we're talking about how you can make sure that that financial freedom comes along with more time and location freedom by building systems. And there are a couple ways that you can think about building systems. There's one, if you're already doing business, but you know that you have a bottleneck or you're already burnt out and you want to do more, but you just can't. So you need systems to like help unlock that. Or maybe you want to like get your business off the ground, but you're unable to put like a full-time work effort into it because you're working full-time somewhere else to support you, and you're trying to find systems that can help you get things off the ground quicker. Either way, using systems, whether they're AI powered, automated, or even just human-led systems, has been one of the best ways that I've been able to grow my business and have time and location freedom along with financial freedom. If this is your first time to the channel, nice to meet you. Welcome. My name is Lili, and not only are we doing Vlogmas, posting every day here on the YouTube channel until Christmas, we're also posting daily videos inside of my school community, and those are what we call exclusives, where they're not posted anywhere else. And the topic for this conversation actually came from a question that someone sent me inside of school. So you can use the link in the top comment to head over to school, check out those videos, as well as a bunch of other stuff that we've got going on this month. If you're a coach, a consultant, a service provider, and you want help building your business to $10,000 a month or more, that's what we're all about. That said, I was just inside Marshall's doing a little bit of Christmas shopping because I want to spruce up my Airbnbs. And because I'm coming from the real estate world, in terms of like, that's the first way that I started making money. Real estate is so systems based. I figured I could take you guys over there with me, give you a property tour, and put up these Christmas decorations and talk about how what I learned from real estate systems apply to my business system. But before we do that, there was this really nice lady, older lady, working inside of Marshall's, and she saw that I had my chai here, and she was like, "Oh, I would love a cup of hot chocolate." And she was just joking, but I was like, "I'll bring you a cup of hot chocolate. Do you want one?" And she was like, "Oh, you wouldn't. And I was like, "I really will." "You think I'm joking? You want a coffee? You want a hot chocolate? I'll get you something." Next time. So we're gonna go get her a cup of hot chocolate, and then we're gonna go to the house and talk about systems. Hi there, can I just get one hot chocolate, please? Thank you, have a great day. Miss Linda, I'm back.
Actually did it.
I told you I was coming back.
Thank you.
Here you go. Happy holidays.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You actually did it.
I told you I was coming back. No, enjoy.
I will.
Alrighty. My cleaner did a little bit of the cleaning today, and I'll be back later on to get this one ready for a guest. We've got a few days until the next check-in, so we've got a little bit of time. But yeah, this is one of the Airbnbs. So this house is a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, and let me show you what I got from the store. I got these cute little gingerbread man pillows, peppermint bark. We usually leave out snacks for all of our guests, so I figured I could put out some like holiday themed snacks. I ended up getting these little, just like placeholder thingies. They're festive. I got this jar of chocolatey snowmen. Oh, I gotta do the makeup girly thing. This Airbnb business that I have is based on a system that I figured out by just doing it. I used to make a lot of content about real estate, and I used to show myself managing and cleaning the Airbnbs. And that made it really easy to just develop a system of how to clean the place and set it up for the next guest in a way that I thought would help us get 5-star reviews. And then the next step was just to write down that system and find somebody who could follow it to an acceptable level. And that's what we've done now. And so I'm pretty much out of the management of the Airbnbs. But like I said earlier, it's way harder to set up a system when you don't know all of the steps that are involved. In that case, the 3 things that I would recommend are, first is to have some type of understanding or expertise in the end result. And the reason I say that is because when I talk to coaches and service providers like I do every single day, the people that are the hardest to help are the people who come to me and just say, hey Lili, what type of business should I start? And I say, well, what are you good at? Like, what are your skills? What are your expertise? And they say, not much, but I'm willing to get good at something. Just tell me what to get good at. And that's a hard place to start from because there are so many options. But if you can point things in the direction of, okay, this is a skill set that I have, or this is a problem that I understand, it makes everything a lot easier. So for example, one of my most recent mentorship students came to me and told me that they have an embroidery business. They teach other people how to run embroidery businesses and how to not just do like the actual stitching and embroidery part of it, but also the like business side and promoting your products and all that good stuff. That is a skill set that I absolutely do not have. But because they have that skill set and they know that end result, I can come in and help with the business pieces to set up systems to help them get better at delivering that end result. So that's the first step, is like choose something that you know you can accomplish. And the mistake here is usually going too big. People get imposter syndrome, I think, because they choose too big of results to try to deliver, because that's what we all hear is like makes your business valuable. They're like, oh, if I can do more for someone, then what I'm offering them is more valuable. Instead, I like to think about if I can do a better job for someone, even if it's a very small thing. If I can do a better job for someone, then that's what makes it more valuable. So in this example, if you don't know how to do like a million fancy embroidery stitches, don't say you'll teach people to do a million fancy embroidery stitches. Instead, show like, I will help you learn the basics of embroidery, but instead of it taking you 2 months, I'll get you there in 2 weeks. And that's the type of thing that we want to focus on first. What is an end result that I'm really confident that I can help someone get? The second step would be to copy someone else. The entire reason that I started making YouTube content was because I was watching people like Graham Stephan, Max Maxwell, Noel Randall. I was watching all these people on YouTube, and those people specifically were doing both YouTube and real estate. I had just finished up traveling with the Harlem Globetrotters, and because I was injured, because my basketball career ended a couple months earlier with a torn ACL, it was a whole thing. I was doing all of their media. I was doing like trick shots. I was doing presentations, promotions, radio, TV, all of that. And so I got really good at speaking to the camera. That was the nugget of thing that I was good at that I saw within this goal of becoming a real estate YouTuber. And so the first step was just like having that nugget that I could hold on to of like, yes, I'm good at that piece. And then at the beginning, it was a lot of just copying. And when I say copying, I don't mean that I would like watch a Graham Stephan video and then say the exact same things that he would say, because I couldn't. I wasn't an expert in the things that he was an expert in. But I was copying the format that I saw other people successfully using to move towards the goals that I had. And that's just the system that you should start with. It's somebody else's already proven system. The system for growing on YouTube is to post 1 to 2 videos per week, every week. Spend as much time on your title and thumbnail as you can, and don't stop until you've posted at least like 25 to 30 videos. See what other people who have what you want are doing, and try to copy as much of the logistics of that while putting your own flavor and experience into it. And the third piece is to commit to enough of the inputs. It's really easy to judge a system on if it's working or not based on the outputs, like how many subscribers you have, or how many customers you have, or anything that you think of as a goal but isn't directly in your control. Because if we could control that number, we would just choose to have the number of subscribers that we want to have. But we can't control that directly. So we have to work backwards and figure out what is the thing that I actually can control. And what that does is it takes your focus off of the end result, because the system isn't the end result. The system is the input, because when you focus on the inputs, you learn how good of a job am I actually doing. You get better as long as you commit to enough of those reps. And then you just look up one day and you have more outputs than you anticipated. The other reason you shouldn't focus on the outputs is something that I actually thought about earlier today. You don't know how many outputs it's going to take to find success yet. And it made me think back to like my basketball career. So when I was in high school, the only thing I wanted to do was to go D1, start when I got to college, and eventually win a national championship. And somebody called me a failure in basketball the other day in one of my comments. And usually comments don't get to me, but I'm like, if I failed, like I went D1, I started as a freshman, was national player of the week, won a national championship. Yes, I blew out my knee, but that's not within my control. Anyway, that part aside, that was my goal, right? That was what I wanted. And so in high school, I would wake up at 5 a.m. every single morning. And first I would study for like 45 minutes, the SAT, specifically SAT math, because I am not talented at math. And so there was that big like Kaplan book of math problems, I think it was. And then there was this guy named Khan. I don't remember his first name, but he had this website called Khan Academy. And he literally went through and explained every single problem in that SAT math. And so every morning I would just get a stack of printer paper and I would just sit down and go through those problems one by one. That was the first 45 minutes, hour of my day. Once I did that, I would go to the gym and I would just shoot and train basketball, all that stuff for like 45 minutes to an hour. Then I would shower there at Lifetime, and then I would go to school. And the crazy thing about going to high school in Texas is that my entire second period, an hour and a half of my day, was basketball practice. We call it athletics block. I don't know if anybody else outside of Texas has that. That was my second workout of the day, was my second period in school. And it just so happened that the only people in that class were my teammate, and the coach of that class was my basketball coach. So we had practice in the middle of the day, but we still had practice after school. And then I went to like an individual skills trainer a couple of times a week, and I went to an individual like weightlifting coach a couple of times a week. I was ridiculously locked in. And the only reason I share that is because when I look back on that now, it seems absolutely ridiculous. If I knew at the beginning of my journey how hard I would have to work and like how many hours I would be building up over the course of months and months and months of doing that, I don't know that I absolutely would have done it. But when instead I just focused on like, I'm just committed to doing these workouts this week, and then I'm gonna track my results at the end of the week, and I saw that I got better, that was my motivation to do it again the next week. And I think that's what has to happen. Like if we think about how big of a picture it is, it can get really overwhelming. But when we just commit to like a set of inputs that is significant but not overwhelming, that's why I said like 25, 30 YouTube videos, or in this case, a month of SAT prep and going to the gym in the morning. That seems doable. And then the adage of like what you measure matters, that rings true. Because when I was tracking like my 3-point shot percentage, and I was tracking like how much weight I was lifting in the gym, and I just committed to doing those inputs and tracking the results of it, and I saw that at the end of the month, I got better and I got stronger, that was then the motivation for the next set of inputs. And before you know it, that cycle of input, track, output allows you to make adjustments as you go, but it's also you building the system that's gonna work to help get you wherever you decide that you're trying to go. And of course, when we get more specific on like the exact inputs and things that you're trying to do and the ways that you might wanna test them, using AI and automation can be a huge way to help make it go faster. That's why this week I have a free AI masterclass that you can sign up for, where I'll go over some of those AI-enabled systems that we have in my business. And when you register for that AI masterclass, you'll automatically be entered to win a free AI workflow that me and my team will build for you. So just head to the link in the top comment to register. You'll be entered to win, and everyone who shows up live will also get a couple extra bonuses that I'm gonna keep secret for now. This has been day, I don't know, of Vlogmas, and until tomorrow, thanks for watching.